Hi, welcome back. In this lecture, we'll take a look into what is RabbitMQ. Well, before we dive into what is RabbitMQ, let's first quickly understand what is message queue. Well, message queuing allows applications to communicate by sending messages to each other. The message queue provides a temporary message storage when the destination program is busy or not connected. Well, message queue is nothing but a queue. It provides a temporary storage for the messages. Well, the message queue is made up of producer, broker and consumer, where the producer will produce the message and it will send that message to the message broker, and consumer will consume that message from the message broker. So this is how the message queue looks like. And we can use a message queue for the asynchronous communication between multiple applications. Well, here asynchronous communication meaning, consider the producer is sending message to the message broker. Then producer don't have to wait for the response. It can proceed with other remaining tasks. Okay, so this is how the asynchronous communication happen between producer and consumer. Alright, so basically message queue is widely used for asynchronous communication between producer and consumer. A producer can be a different application and consumer can be a different application. And basically we use a message queue for asynchronous communication between multiple applications. Now let's take a look into what is RabbitMQ. Well, RabbitMQ is nothing but a message queue that acts as an intermediary platform where different applications can send and receive messages. Well, RabbitMQ originally implements the advanced messaging queuing protocol, that is AMQP. But now RabbitMQ also supports several other API protocols such as STOMP, MQTT and HTTP. Well, RabbitMQ is nothing but a message queue. It acts as an intermediary platform where different applications can send and receive the messages. Well, if you can see here, this is how the RabbitMQ in a nutshell looks like. It contains basically multiple components like producer, exchange, queue and consumer. So we'll understand more about producer, exchange, queue and consumer in upcoming lectures. Just try to understand how the RabbitMQ looks in a nutshell. Well, producer basically produces the message and it will send that message to the exchange, and then exchange will basically use that message along with some setup rules to route that message to the queue, and then consumer will basically consume that message from the queue. Alright, so exchange and queue, so these are the two components which are part of RabbitMQ broker, but producer and consumer can be different applications. Alright, so producer is the application that sends a message to the RabbitMQ broker, and consumer is the application that reads a message from the RabbitMQ broker. Alright, so this is how the RabbitMQ works. Now let's take a look into why we use RabbitMQ in a microservices. RabbitMQ is one of the simplest freely available option for implementing messaging queues in your microservices architecture. Well, RabbitMQ is one of the popular messaging queue system that we can use in a microservices for asynchronous communication between multiple microservices. For example, if you can see this architecture over here, this architecture has 3 microservices like order service, stock service and email service, and these microservices will communicate with each other using message broker. Message broker can be a RabbitMQ or Apache Kafka or any other message queues. Well, in this course, we'll learn how to use RabbitMQ as a message broker for asynchronous communication between multiple microservices. Alright, so we'll learn more about RabbitMQ core concepts and architecture in upcoming lectures. Alright, I will see you in the next lecture.